not based after any man. We're not Muhammadism. This is Islam, the same religion that Jesus and Muhammad and Abraham and Moses, all of them had. That's one religion. Peace and blessings be on all of them, right? Christianity is based on the name of Christ. So before Christ, you couldn't have Christianity. Judaism on Judah. Before Judah, you would have no Judaism. Confucius thought based on Confucius, right? Buddhism, Buddha, right? These are based on people. Before that, they didn't have it. Our message, Islam, is the same message from the time of Adam till the day of judgment. Right? Every prophet, look at the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments. Hear, O Israel, your Lord is one. Today, Christians tell you God is three. In one, in three, sometimes one, you know. Right? What is the second commandment? Don't worship idols. Go to any church. What are you going to see? Idols. Whether it's a statue of Jesus on a cross, or saints, or Mary, or whatever else, idols. So you see what happens is the message has always been one message. We are called the One Message Foundation. Why? Because we don't believe that there was a different message sent to Moses, to Abraham, to Jesus, to David, to Muhammad. Peace and blessings be on them. We love all of them. Right? We believe they all came with that one true message from our Creator. That message, when people corrupted, they wrote with their own hands books and said this is a part of the Word of God. When that happened, Allah sent the final message, the Quran, which is yours here. And this Quran, this is preserved till the Day of Judgment. How do we know? We have manuscripts. Like I said, you can look up the Birmingham Quran, the Sana'a Quran, that were carbon dated. But on top of all that, we have brothers like this. Other brothers in San Diego, we have hundreds. In America, we got thousands. Around the world, we have millions that have memorized this entire book. 114 chapters, word by word, letter by letter. Even the pronunciation, how you stretch it, this is called mudud, you know. Even the qira'at are preserved with the chain back to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Let me ask you one more question, right? And something I've always wondered. Well, not always. I would say within the past 10 to 15 years, it's something that I've come to realize, right? With all the religions out there, what I've noticed is there tends to be a target put specifically on the religion of Islam, right?
Yeah.
What do you think the reasoning for that is? Especially when such a small percentage of people are the ones that perverse. Are the ones that perverse. Why? What do you think is the reasoning for putting such a target?
That's a great question. You know, we don't get this question a lot, but I'll answer.
Because it's something that I saw and I realized a long time ago, and I would see certain actions happening by government, and I was like, man, it seems like they're trying to put a target on.
You know.
So I always wonder, like,
when truth
what do you
comes,
think the reasoning for that?
When there is truth, every type of falsehood will attack the truth. Right? Meaning, let's talk about terrorism, for example, right? If you look at statistically, there have been more acts of terrorism committed by white supremacist, right-wing movements in America since 9/11 till our time than Muslims. But you don't see it on Fox, you don't see it on CNN, you don't see it on MSNBC, you don't see that every time a white man does something, every white man's asked to apologize. Every time a Christian does something, every Christian doesn't apologize.
No, I completely agree, because it's the same logic that holds up in Mexico.
Exactly.
You have the Mexicans that are causing most of the havoc, national terrorists, the cartels, and then you go down to the Colombians.
The FARC in Colombia.
You have the Colombians. So every culture is just
the Aryan Brotherhood, all the stuff here.
Exactly.
We got
everything. You know, you can go to Africa. You have the genocides that are happening.
Because there's a political aspect to that. Yeah. So, in Rwanda, man, you are well read.
Yeah. So whatever the predominant race is, tends to be the most
right. But with Muslims, you can go anywhere in the world. We'll be the target of the media.
And that's what I always wondered. Like,
why? Because a lot of those powers that be know that this is the truth. And they want to enjoy their life. They want corruption, right? In Islam, for example, if we had Islamic law, you wouldn't have the amount of robberies and break-ins and rapes that go on in America. So those people that are, I'll give you a very good example, right? In Islam, we don't believe in interest, riba. You know, like when you buy something, we believe in cash, right? So what happens right now, let's say you're from San Diego?
San Antonio.
San Antonio, all right. Well, Texas is a lot cheaper. We're going to do San Diego as an example, right? Let's say you come to San Diego, you like it, you're like, I want to live here, right? You want to buy a house. Average house in a decent neighborhood, $650,000.
Yeah.
San Diego, right? Now what happens is, Who has 650,000 cash? Nobody, unless you're like Bezos or Musk, whatever. So nobody has that. So how can the banks, how can the property values have that? Is because everybody goes through the banks.
Yeah.
What happens with banks? I'm going to show you an example, right?
Yeah, I'm very well versed in the banking
You are,
system.
but let me just show this example.
I'm just going to tell you, Islam corrupt and corrupt by country. Iran is corrupt by
Iran is corrupt. Islam is pure. Thank you. So now you have 650,000, 0.07% good interest rate, right? 45,500 per year. 30-year mortgage. On that $650,000 house, the interest you will pay is 1.3,665,000.
Yeah, it's usually at 3x.
Right? Now we add that original 650 back in. You are paying over $1.8 million for a house that's 600. So now, what's the point? If Islam comes and Islam says, hey, banks, you can't be charging interest anymore. Now, me and you will be able to buy a house for 50,000, for 40,000. Why? Because we can save that amount and we can buy, and that's all. And if nobody has a 650, you can't buy it, right?
Yeah.
But people don't want that. The banks, they make their money. You paid three times.
I'll be there right now.
No, it's okay. We'll wait.
Just a couple of minutes. So now your $650,000, like you said, 3 times more you're paying. You miss a few payments, what happens? The bank takes your house, ruins your credit. Now your wife's going to leave you because you can't even get a cell phone, right? So the banks make out any which way.
Yeah.
Whether the market bubbles up, down, they put all these subprime mortgages, ruin the system, and then what happens? We pay those same bankers to fix it. Islam comes, you don't have that anymore. So those people that are making those billions don't want Islam. Right? This is why you have this negative media, negative stereotypes. Even though statistically, we got more terrorist acts being committed by non-Muslims. But you don't want to see that on TV because politically, it helps them to blame it on Islam and to try to stop it. But that's not going to happen because of people like you and me that are going to have these conversations, that are going to clear up these things. Right? That's how you know Islam's the truth. Because that's what all falsehood, from every country, every side wants to shut down. You feel me?
No, I understand.